know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. So, where do we start? Been home for 24 hours now. It's been a day. I've been out. I guess I talk about what I can talk about. And I'm going to go back to the beginning now. I'm going to go back to who I was. Let me say thank you. Thank you to everybody that was in my corner. To everybody that donated. To the people that wrote me, Derek LeBlanc, David Poole, Grub Mud. Grub Mud actually wrote me and sent me a picture of him and his daughter. Like, he wrote me, pen and pad. Beautiful thing, man. Take the time out your day to actually check on the next man. Thank you. To everybody that sent money, thank you. Now, what can I talk about? What can I talk about? First thing my lawyer told me, he said, do not talk about your case. I do want to say this. The eluding was stupid. It was very, very dumb on my behalf. But you need to feel like where I'm coming from and where my mind was at. I knew why they were looking for me. And I knew they weren't looking to talk. They were looking to arrest me. That's what I knew, 100%. They already had warrants. They were looking to arrest me. They were behind me. And in the moment that the lights came on, that fight or flight instinct kicked in. I've never been the running type. It's never been who I am. Always faced anything that was thrown at me. I don't skip court meetings, period. I go. When the lights came on, I panicked. Don't panic. You just make it worse. I made it so much worse. I should have just pulled over. Hours had passed since everything started. My biggest concern was, honestly, my family. And not bringing shame on them, not bringing police to the house. We live in a great neighborhood. I didn't want cops everywhere. So I took it upon myself to leave. Cops didn't come to the house. But I knew they would. Nothing happened at my house. Nobody was hurt. I hate when people spin a narrative. Nobody was hurt. Nobody. People say, oh, you should have just pulled over. They couldn't have locked you up. They already had warrants for my arrest, which means no matter what, I'm going back in. I was a dad who was out with his family, who ran into a really shitty situation, and I dealt with it the best way I could. And I hold no grudges. Not mad. I love everybody. I get it. It's YouTube. I get it. I lost friends in this ordeal. Dudes I've been friends with for years. I lost friends. And that bothers me. That bothers me because I'm not quick to just call everybody my friend. Everybody's not your friend. It's a very special title to give somebody. And I will say that, yeah, I lost friends in this. Because some people were just more concerned with how many views they could get. And not me. Not Jay, are you alright? Jay, what happened? None of that. Views. It made me look at YouTube in a whole different light. In a whole different light. Maybe look at people differently. But you know what they say, man, don't let one bad apple sour the bunch. That's not what I'm going to do. I was going to do a live last night, right? But I was torn about it. I came home and I did not expect in a million years for dudes I mess with to be saying the things they were saying. So I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do the live. Not the way I was feeling, no. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. So I prayed on it. Gave it to God. Sat down this morning, thought on it. I'm not here to be for everybody. I'm here to entertain you. I'm an entertainer. I've been doing this for a long time. Become very successful at something that was once just a dream. I do something that people are like, how is it possible? How? Why can't I do that? And instead of continuing to do what I do, what I enjoy, what I love, I fed into everything. I'm fighting for my life. That's the facts. Being locked up made me sick to my stomach every day. There wasn't a day that I didn't wake up just sad. A shell of a man, just a glimpse of who I used to be. Calling on video every day to talk to my son, calling every day on video to talk to my wife, seeing the people I love and care about out there without me. It'll take its toll. This go round was hard. It was hard. I told y'all I never cared because I never had a reason. I was never enough. It was never I loved me enough to care. I needed others. I needed to be loved. People are my reason. And I figured that out real fast. I already knew it, but I figured that out real fast when I was stripped of the people I love. But when the last time, it was like I really didn't have anything going on. So I wasn't, it's whatever. When in this time, my son's crying, I want my daddy. My wife's crying, I want my husband home. That changed the entire dynamics of who I am. I dropped the video when I got out yesterday. And that was frustration. That was me saying, y'all bashed my name, you've put me down, you've thrown dirt on me that's not real. I'm back. I'm not mad at anybody for videos they've made. I'm not. I don't have the time to be mad. I got to make the best of life with the time I have. The fact of the matter is, I could do some time. I've already faced that mentally. My lawyer has said, don't stress. You're not going back to prison. You're a good guy. And I want to say this as well. An apology is owed, and I know that. To the men and women that were on the scene that night, that were involved in that chase, thank you for the way y'all handled things. And I apologize that I put y'all through that. To the officer that I was talking to during that standoff, I was in a very dark place mentally. Scared. I was angry in that parking lot. Very, very angry. Because I knew what y'all had been told. I was so hurt by it. I couldn't believe it. I was shook. But that officer, he talked to me like a man. Kind of try to talk me off the edge, if you will. People look at me and they look at my past and the tattoos and this and that. And the first thing they think is, oh yeah, he had a gun. And I can't say but so much. Like I said, it's a pending case with several felonies. We got to court the other day, and these people, the internet says I have an assault and battery charge. I have a battery charge, which I'm not even sure what that means. But when I showed up to court the other day, that was in my jacket, and I'm like, how is this possible? Who was battered? Nobody was, so much as not a hair on anybody's head was touched. I love y'all, man. Y'all have been a huge inspiration to me over the years. Y'all have given me some of the greatest advice and shown me some just unconditional love. I'm trying to find the silver lining here and the good side to this. I think the silver lining is the humbleness that comes with it. The connection I have with God. I've never denied my connection with God. I've always told y'all I'm not the Bible thumper type. I'm not really the church type, but I have my belief. Like I said in my other video, I was taking credit for something that was larger than me. Yes, I played a part in it, but it wasn't on me. This was God's plan. He laid his hands on the situation and guided me through the things I needed to do to get to where I needed to be. He saw me through that. The odds were stacked against me. And he made it happen. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I don't want people to view me in a light that's not real. I care about people more than y'all will ever know. The donations were absolutely overwhelming and beautiful. This showed me that there are great people left in this world. Even if you don't donate, just reaching out. There are great people in this world. Even if you didn't reach out and you just prayed for me, there are great people in this world. That officer tried, man. He tried really, really hard. And I was so freaked out by everything that was going on that I didn't want to hear anything he had to say. I'm not a bad man. I'm actually a good man. I think that's what really bothered me that night. Is when I found out what they thought was going on. That blew my mind. I talked to that cop about it. I said, this is crazy. And I know that no matter what I do, even had I pulled that car over, I wouldn't have the eluding charge. But I would still be facing these firearm charges. And I just wanted to run away as far as possible. I was hurt in disbelief. 100% in disbelief that this was being put on me. We think we have everything figured out. You think you have life figured out, and you think that just it's all about you. That's what I thought. Started to make things all about me. Even though I'm doing everything in my power to keep everybody around me taken care of, it became a look at me thing. You know, in the last video I did, second to last video I did before I got locked up, I was at work and I was so filthy, out and in from underneath this house all day, all night. There was raw sewage on the ground, like all that had to be sucked up and cleaned up. I was dirty. I was tired, past the point of tired. You've seen it. I think this is the chapter in my life where I pull close to the ones that matter. I lost that along the way. I got so wrapped up in what I could do for them, what I could offer them, that I failed to see what I could give them that's absolutely free. Me. And that's all they wanted was me. They didn't want a big fancy house, brand new cars all in the driveway, and all these other material items. They just wanted Jay. I didn't know how to take that. It's very easy to lose sight of what's important, especially when you're trying to do for what's important, who's important. Because you think that you're doing everything right by working all these hours, by providing this, providing that, by coming up with a set amount of money every week. You think you're doing everything right. What does all that matter if you're not spending time? If you're not giving them your time? If they're growing older and you're not present? What does it matter if they have all these nice things if they don't have you? I did a lot of self-reflecting. A lot. A lot of soul-searching. And no sooner I got out, I seen a couple videos that were made that irritated me, and I went right back to the stupidity. So now we change. Now we change. For y'all that know me, y'all know me. I've been doing this for many years. Y'all know me personally. Y'all know me. I am who I say I am. There was a point when the car fishtailed. It was raining. And I thought, that's it. It's going to start tumbling. That was scary. At those speeds, that was scary. The whole car snatched and just went sideways. I'm like, this is it. I really thought that was it. And then I regained control. And I ran scared for my life. Now I say my life, was I scared that they were going to do something to me? I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew how that was going to end. Been there, done it. Got a t-shirt to prove it. I know how the warrants end. The warrants end with me in jail, me fighting for my life to get a bond. They don't ever want to bond me. It's virtually impossible for me to get a bond. I had a traffic infraction a couple years ago, and they did not want to bond me on a traffic charge. So I'm going to say this one time and one time only. To anybody I let down, I'm sorry. To everybody that was there in my time of need, thank you. And to the ones that doubt me, I'll pray for you. I'm not mad at you. I say that over and over. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at me. That night I did everything in my power. Everything in my power to avoid any type of trouble. Any type of altercation. I did exactly what a man is supposed to do. And it just wasn't enough. Trouble found me. And I knew it was looking for me. It found me. I couldn't escape it. Couldn't get around it. I do think that this will be something one day when the smoke clears and everything's settled and done that I can look back on. I'm not sure why this happened. Like I said, I don't know if it was to test my faith, to pull me closer to God, put me closer to the ones I love, to humble me. But I do believe that everything happens for a reason. I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. To me, I think this was a wake-up call. I think it was a major, major wake-up call. Like, respect your life. Cherish it. Love it. Every part of it. From going in 7-Eleven and getting coffee to opening your refrigerator and getting food. Respect it. Love it. Cherish it. Because I can promise you this. In the moment that you lose all those options, you've lost more than options. You lose a piece of yourself. You go into jail and leave behind the ones you love, you 100% lose a piece of yourself. I never imagined in a million years that handcuffs would go on me again. My oldest son, he understands. He knows what's going on. He's such a good kid. My son Isaiah, he's such a good kid. He's so amazing. And he said his biggest fear is that his little brother's going to grow up the way he did. With no dad. It's a bitter pill, man. It's a hard pill to swallow. I'm going to do everything I can to be a better me. The best version of me. Not only for them, but for the people watching as well. I'm an inspiration to so many. I can't be getting on here acting stupid. I can't. What does that tell everybody else they can do? To the youngins that watch me, what does it tell them? This is acceptable behavior? No. I don't think so. You don't run from the cops. You pull over. No matter how scared you are, just pull over and get it out the way. I wish I could go back and I just pull over. Just pull over, Jay. Even with what I was dealing with, you get real humble when you sit down with a man that's got 80 years and he's 20 years old. I sat with a dude that was 20 years old that had just got a fresh 80 years. And he was like, well, with 85%, boo, 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 I can be home when I'm 85. You know how sickening that is to hear from a 20-year-old? I can be home when I'm 85. I still got a chance to be out one day. And I know in the back of my mind that most people don't live to see 85. The high starch diet and the different things you eat and the foods and just the hostility in general, you don't meet a lot of men in prison that live to be that old. Heart disease, cancer, different ailments take them guys out. Usually in their late 60s, early 70s. And if you do live to be 85, now you're a senior citizen in prison. A senior citizen trying to defend himself against young men. I've always been the guy that will give you the advice you need. And I'm also the most stubborn man you will ever meet. I will give you the greatest advice that will change your life, make your life great. And then I would turn around and do the opposite. Now, I don't know hypocrisy or being a hypocrite, but I just always feel like it's all right. I got it. Everything's under control. Even when I don't have control of anything. That's when I go crazy. When I can't control the situation or the moment. I'm so used to that. I'm always in control. With work, with whatever I got going on. People look to me. I lead. I try to make the best decisions. But I don't always. I'm going to do some comparisons of prison and jail. Comparisons of jail now and jail then. And some top fives on just different topics. And we're going to just get right back into where we left off. When the smoke clears and everything's done with court, then we'll go over that. And I'm asking y'all, don't. If these people watch this stuff, y'all are painting a picture that's not true. You're painting a narrative that's not true. So don't come on here speaking on things you don't know about. It's all bad to even do that. Once again, I want y'all to know that I love y'all. I wish I was perfect. Could save myself a whole lot of pain if I was perfect. Unfortunately, I'm not. Just a man who's good at recalling and telling stories from the past. That's all I am. Just a man. No better than anybody else. Just a man. Money doesn't make you better than anybody else. It's just a status. Some of the best people I've met didn't have money. Some of the realest human beings I've met were sitting on curbs asking for money. And what they stood to offer was a glimpse into their life, kind words, kind gestures. Those things are priceless. I'm not going to do my closing on this video. I'm not going to do the, are you not entertained? This ain't that type of video. This is a video for you guys. The ones that matter most. Till next time, you already know what it is. Salute.